Hello, Capricorn family, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your October monthly tarot reading. We're going to do a spread on love and romance, and then we're going to talk about career, money, and finances after. Please come into both the readings with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something or better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate for you, that's fine. Feel free to push them aside. You may want to revisit them at a later date. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is, of course, optional advice and guidance, an energy check-in. So trust your own intuition above all else. That being said, let's try and have some fun and get you some helpful, insightful messages for the month of October. Capricorn, here we go. The Star, all right. We got two popping out here. Okay. So let's talk about love. We have the Star, we have the Five of Swords, and then we have the Magician. Interesting. What are you planning? Let's see. I'm hearing words like strategy and tactic. Something in a relationship, trying to get what you want. Something that you're trying to manifest with your person, or maybe you are trying to manifest a person. So for those who are single, this very much looks like, I don't actually hate this Five of Swords yet. Maybe I'm a little bit undecided until I see where the story goes here, but this feels like sort of in the past, you have the Star card, which is about dreams and wishes and hopes and long-term goals. So putting a lot of time and energy into either kind of checking things off the list or trying to achieve them, or setting some sort of plan in place to hold yourself accountable, right? To accomplish your goals. And I mean, I guess in romance, right? Maybe this translates for you in another area of your life as well. The Five of Swords, let's see. Typically, it's an energy that we don't love. However, in this particular case, the Five of Swords does have a connotation of Venus energy. I will say that. So in a love reading, depending on what the depiction is, it could be okay. Venus does have to do with our love life, obviously, our relationships, our connections, our desire to sort of find links and compatibility in other people and other things. Also has to do with money. So you could be planning out some sort of opportunity with your person that would require more money than usual. And then the Magician. My goodness. I don't know. I'm kind of getting this idea of like having your person wrapped around your finger. It's almost like for some of you, I don't know if I don't know. The first message here seems like for those who are already coupled up. It seems like this idea of, I have this long-term goal or dream or something I want to do with my person, and they're not necessarily open to it or jiving with it right now, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to find a way to do it anyway. Like, not necessarily without them or despite them. I don't know. It's almost like there's a little bit of like trickstery, devilish energy, I guess, but it's like you're going to find a way to do it anyway. And it's almost like you're just telling yourself, it's fine. They're going to like it. Like, they just have to trust me. So, I mean, part of me is laughing, so I don't think this message is a super heavy one. But the other part of me is like, there seems to be this sort of check-in with your person about where their energy is at regarding the situation. And I don't know, they don't totally seem to be on board with it, and yet I think you're going to move forward with it anyway. I'm getting this idea of like, oh, they're just a puppet on a string. Like, I'm the puppet master, and I'm controlling this a little bit. So be careful with that, Capricorn. Again, like, the part of me is sort of, it feels like sort of like not a wink from the universe, but kind of like this, I'm going to say it this way. It's almost like the universe is rolling their eyes, but kind of laughing at you. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's not like this, oh my God, Capricorn is doing this incredibly ridiculous, stupid thing and they're going to regret it and it's going to ruin their relationship or their marriage. It's not that. It's not that heavy. It's just this kind of like, oh God, Capricorn being difficult. It's that type of like, I want this and I'm going to do it anyway. Like, I don't need your permission. This is what I want and it's going to be good for us. So suck it up. Like, that's the energy I'm getting. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. Maybe it's something small. I don't know. We'll talk about singles too. I'm going to finish off with those who are already in a relationship for the month of October, and then we'll go into singles. So the Seven of Cups. Let's see. Seven of Cups to me here, it's like having your hand in too many cookie jars. trying to do too much all at once. So what you need to release, what is not helpful to you this month, is again having, I'm sort of hearing like sticking your nose in other people's business too. I don't know where that came from, but it just kind of came through. You may need to delegate a little bit and pare down what you're trying to accomplish this month. I think it's great that you have goals and there's lots that you want to do. It could even be planning fun things with your partner, right? But with that, I don't know, the Seven of Cups, it's to me, sometimes there's like this veil of delusion with it. It's kind of like this great imagination and this kind of visionary, idealistic, oh my gosh, it's going to be great because I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do that and then we're going to buy this and then we're going to go here. But with that, the universe is kind of like, really? Like, are you sure you're going to do all that in the month of October? I'll say this, Capricorn, if anyone can do it, it's probably you, right? That being said, it's like, is it worth it? Is it going to take a toll on your body or your mental health? Is it going to put some sort of strain on your partnership? Is it just better to wait and push some things off? That's sort of what I think the Seven of Cups is asking you. With the Seven of Cups, it's like there's emotional investment in the idea of it, but it's not here yet. It's not necessarily a reality. It's not something you can necessarily go and build overnight. So it's great to envision it, but I'm hearing like there's a couple things. We need to pare it down and not try and tackle so much all at once. And also the idea of, this is sort of the reversal of the message, but bear with me because I think this is going to make sense for others of you. If it is like the dream and the illusion and, oh, it's going to be nice, we're going to do this, take one of those things and actually do it rather than just dreaming about it. Because you know, we all have that list of like, oh, you know, eventually I got to do this and I got to do that. Even like the simplest things like, you know, I got to repair this in the house and oh, we have to repaint that. And we have to like little things that are like tedious, but you know, in the long term, they're going to make you happy because it's like, yeah, that's checked off my list. And usually it's things that it's not necessarily that they're going to take that long or cost that much. It's just we've been putting it off. So for some of you, it's like, stop talking about it or dreaming or wishing that you're going to do it. Just like actually do it. But I'm going to stick to what I said before. That doesn't mean you have to do all 7 of them or whatever it is, right? If there are big ticket items, okay, choose 1 for the month of October or 2, right? Something like that. It's paring it down. So that's not at all a bad message, but yeah, in your relationships, it's too many hands and too many cookie jars, if that makes sense. And I am still getting that message of kind of like sticking your nose in other people's business. Now, this is in theory a relationship spread, not the most romantic one I've ever seen. I won't lie. This feels like those who are already coupled up and kind of in it, right? We'll ask about that. We'll ask about romance. There's something here where it's like you're infringing on your partner's space. This is a really terrible metaphor, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's the first thing that came to mind. It's like you guys may have your separate spaces. Like, let's say there's like the quote unquote man cave, right? It's like you're coming down there and like painting it pink or something like that. And your partner's just like, you know, WTF? Like, really? Like, it's that sort of like, maybe talk about it with your partner. Is it absolutely necessary? Like, I think there's like this impulsive, I'm going to do this because it's the right thing to do. But with that, you're not considering your partner's feelings and maybe not discussing it thoroughly. And I mean, basically, Capricorn, what I'm getting at is like, you already know this. In a partnership, there should be equal give and take. There are 2 votes. So you kind of being this domineering presence and just completely taking something over and being like, no, we're doing it this way. It's a little immature. It feels a little bit like high school. It feels a little bit drama city. So do with that message what you will. Then let's talk about the help available to you, what you need to embrace, things that are going to be good in your relationship. Already, I see the 4 of Wands, and I really like that. That's the soulmate card. That's the 1111, you know, divine timing. It can be a marriage card. If it's not a marriage card, it can be significant moments in a relationship, important milestones. Some of you may be celebrating an anniversary of sorts. And then you have the Hermit, which is very independent energy. So with that, it's sort of this repeat message of, yeah, you can go rogue and do it your way and do it alone, but there's also an opportunity for you guys to collaborate. And I mean, tap into that sort of joint collaborative magic that you guys have, like, you know, passionately, romantically, but also just like as a working team. This seems very like oriented towards like what's going on in the home and the house. I'm getting lots of messages about that. All right, now I know you guys are like, yeah, but this is my love and dating and sex spread. So like, tell me about the good stuff. So let's see. I like the 4 of Wands. Anytime there's wands, there's that heat, that passion, that energy. With the Hermit, it's almost like we got to get it back a little bit. Honestly, though, with this Hermit card and that essentially with the Hermit representing the sign of Virgo, that could be kind of like kinky energy. I'm going to be honest with you. So, just saying. And it's coming up here, so like help available to you, things you can take advantage of or utilize or lean into, if you're looking for the hot and heavy messages. I don't see tons of that. But particularly if you have a Virgo, the chemistry looks bomb. That looks awesome. Or it's just, I'm going to say it, Capricorn, like role-playing, costumes, things of that sort. I don't know if that's what you're into, but we'll see. And then you have the Eight of Coins. So, okay, Virgo energy again, Sun in Virgo too, which is all about like work and service. Some of you may actually be, what do you call it? Not reestablishing vows, but you know what I mean, like recommitting to each other in like a really pretty like ceremony or small intimate gathering with like family or friends or whatever. Or if it's not literally doing that, it is the idea of going back to sort of, some of you may actually discover like your marriage vows if it's in like a scrapbook or like a lockbox or, some sort of precious memory box or whatever. And it sort of reignites your enthusiasm and drive in this partnership. I actually really like that. And it's the idea of devotion to your partner. That seems like it needs to be, you need to lean into that a little bit more and understand that like, God, source, spirit, universe brought you guys together to kick ass. So if you're not doing that, like do it, right? And I mean, as always, there's going to be a message in just about every Capricorn spread I do. There's going to be a message here about work-life balance, right? You have a lot of great career cards coming into this reading. So like things for a lot of you seem to be good at work, taking you maybe away from your partnership a little bit to do some activities, projects, whatever. But it's saying at the end of the day, make sure you have, a nice little boundary line between, okay, I'm going to stop doing work at 6:30 and the rest of the night we're going to have, movie night, or we're going to go here, or we're going to have date night, or we're going to, whatever it is, make time for your partner because work stuff may try and interfere with that, but you're not going to let it with the Four of Wands, right? All right, let's keep this spread. Let's talk about singles because I actually did see some single messages when we started, but then it kind of took a turn. So for my single Capricorns, single and looking or casually dating, maybe not officially, locked into any sort of relationship, there's an Aquarius in the past that might kind of be playing head games, like you don't totally know where they stand. You guys both have that Saturn energy, so sometimes that can be a really good combination, but it can also be kind of this very different energy of where you guys are coming from. They may want a little bit more freedom and independence and a more untraditional relationship, whereas you might be looking for something that is a little bit more defined, set in stone, committed, or vice versa, right? The messages can always go in reverse. Maybe you're not looking to like lock it down, but you are interested in seeing this person, on occasion. And so, yeah, maybe you're sort of the idea of like open relationship. I don't know. That probably seems like more of your person though, I'm going to say. So then the Magician energy. We talked a little bit about this before, especially in this spread. There is something about like playing games, like loving the thrill of the chase. If you are the person being chased, it could go in the opposite direction, in which case it seems exhausting because you're putting your energy into texting them and making plans and like either, it's not so much that they flake on you because I don't think you would tolerate that, but it's like they're hot and cold. Like sometimes they seem into it and then other times they're just kind of like flighty and they don't seem present. And I think you're right. I do sense that a little bit, but it's like you have this idea, you have something up your sleeve where you're like, I know if I do this, I'm going to be able to lock it down. It's like you're playing these strategic, it's not so much games. It's like you have this power play move. This feels very Scorpio energy of like, so maybe this is happening in Scorpio season, which starts around, I don't know, let's see, the 23rd of the month, October 23rd-ish, give or take. Seems like you are trying to have this like power play move in order to gain control of the relationship and how this goes. Do I love that message? Not so much. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it, and some of you are going to anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I don't know if you're ultimately going to get the results you want. Ultimatum is a word that comes to mind. kind of giving them this last and final, listen, I'm doing this, and if you're not interested, then I'm just going to go and get back together with my ex. It seems more than just like, hey, checking in, are you into this? Like, let's discuss this, or, what are we exactly? If you're looking for clarity and clarification and definition of what you're doing, great, more power to you, because that gives you more power and energy in the relationship to know what you want and decide if it's right for you. I love when you ask for clarity. This doesn't seem like that. This seems, again, like, so I'm going to say it's like a little bit shady, some sort of like power play move for them to prove if they're in it with you or not. And I just feel like the results you're hoping for, it may actually backfire. And I know that's kind of a shitty message. I'm sorry. I see it, so I have to share it. This might involve a Gemini, a Virgo, an Aquarius. It doesn't really matter the sign, but yeah, I would be careful with that. I don't love it. Letting go of the 7 of Cups. Addiction issues may factor into this, specifically too much drinking. For someone in this relationship, and I'm not sure it's you, Capricorn, it could be someone that you are about to date, or someone that you are currently kind of entertaining the idea of being with them. It seems like they aren't fully comfortable and present in a relationship unless they have, I don't know if it's like, they have to smoke first or they have to drink or whatever, especially when it comes to like intimacy and sexual stuff. I'm not sure if it relates back to like some childhood trauma or some sort of deep-seated psychological thing where in order to feel comfortable, like they have to numb themselves a little bit. I don't think it has to do with you, so I would encourage you to not take it personally. But I do see it eventually being some sort of topic of discussion where it's like, hey, like, what the heck? Like, this is kind of, I don't want you to, present it as, hey, this is weird, because that's going to make them feel bad. But ultimately, it is kind of like, it's something that you may want to bring up eventually if they don't do it on their own, because I do see that turning down what could be like a not so healthy road, just in terms of them, again, needing some sort of like thing to prop them up, or do you know what I mean? Like it's seeking some sort of like external thing to make them more comfortable being more internal or really intimate with you is what I'm trying to say. I also think, I get this message for Capricorn a lot, which kind of makes sense because you're a sign opposed by Cancerian energy, which the moon does have a lot to do with maternal figures and family issues, whether it's mother, father, or whatever, family issues, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever. I frequently get a message for you, Capricorn, that family is taking too much of an active role in your dating life, meaning like there's a lot of comments or criticism or interference. That's a good word. It's like you may have a parent or a sibling or someone who's like, oh, you're going on a date with so-and-so? Great, I'll meet you there. Like, I'll join you. And it's just like, what? No, absolutely not. Like, boundaries. It's not so much that you have an issue with it. It's your family isn't getting the message. And the thing is, that's going to be a topic of discussion with your partner as well. Like, if it seems like it's something that may be nagging or bothering your partner, and they're like, hey, we got to talk about your mother. Like, that sort of thing. Just letting you know. And then in terms of what's coming in, again, for singles, I see Virgo here, possibly an Aries, maybe a Taurus. Careful that someone is not already married. If, well, I shouldn't say if, make sure someone is not already married. Also, there could be someone who is still very much holding on to their ex, particularly an Aries, or that might be you, Capricorn, if you have an ex who is an Aries. There's kind of this like half in, half out with like putting yourself out there to date again. And again, that's like, that's going to confuse your person. It's like, well, are you in it or not? Like, are you... It's fine if you're casually dating and seeing people, but usually when we factor into the mix someone who's still holding on to their ex as like a just in case, that's usually kind of like a recipe for disaster. I just don't love that. There could be an ex-Virgo too, an ex-Virgo who, again, they're like in and out. Like they seem like they're going to commit this time and then they go off and you don't know where they go. Where do they go? The Ace of Coins. They're probably working. They're probably very committed to their job, and so they can only pencil you in for like a very, finite amount of time. Maybe. I don't know if I love that energy, but I also understand it. So, I mean, at least, I don't know. And then the Devil. And then even the Capricorn. All right, don't hate that. Just make sure you're not giving up your power in a relationship, especially if you are a person who is into more quote-unquote traditional relationships. make sure that you are not feeling like you're always second banana to their work, to their family, to their, fill in the blank. I think there's a part of you that really likes this person and wants to show up for them in a very helpful, supportive way. That's very Capricorn energy. You guys are very loyal and dedicated to your people. But with that, there's kind of like this feeling of resentment that goes unaddressed, and it's one of those things where if you don't address it, it's going to kind of like bubble up to the surface eventually in a not so healthy way. So yeah, make sure you're not giving up your power, or you're not feeling like you're less than in a relationship. Make sure this person is treating you like the way you deserve to be treated, and respecting you and all that. Wheel of Fortune, I see a new Capricorn coming in, and I like it. It feels really good. I like that energy. All right, let's talk about your money and career and finances. You still with me, Capricorn? What's up? Here we go. For Capricorn, we'll give this a good shuffle and we'll jump in. They're asking about their career, their money, loans, debts, scholarships. I don't know. Anything to do with that sort of financial health. All right. A lot of people showing up. You guys feel like you're locked into some sort of partnership at work or some sort of contract, and you're being asked to consider letting go of it in order to go after your wish fulfillment. I instantly love that message. And for some of you, it's not necessarily like quitting your job. It could be. It absolutely could be. But realistically, I know that's not going to be everyone's story. So I'm going to phrase it as there's a partnership that you're locked into. Maybe it's a client or it's some sort of deal or project, and it's just not working out. But it's like, I think it's this fear of what will it look like if I tell them that I have to pull out of the deal or back out or whatever it is. And the thing is, you guys are on very different pages. You don't see things the same way. So even though you may actually like this person in terms of your vision for what you're trying to accomplish with this project or this thing at work, you're just on very different pages. And so it's not necessarily beneficial. I think you both would benefit by collaborating with someone else. And there doesn't have to be bad or harsh feelings about it. It's like a difference of opinion. And so I'm hearing like creative control too. There may be, I think there's small little frustrations and disputes in this because, if it's your story, you're going to know. But yeah, there's an opportunity to collaborate with someone, and it's like when you start going down that road with them, it instantly feels like, no, this doesn't feel right. So you need to honor your intuition, especially with the moon. It might be worth losing a tiny bit of money if it's going to save you sort of your sanity. And ultimately, what's coming in next is something that's much more in alignment with your wishes and dreams and what you really want. So again, a project that it's much more like, this feels right. Like, I see the vision. I'm working with a team of people who support this, or, we're on the same page. That's the first message that came out. And I really am wanting to underscore the fact, don't worry about how it's going to look. Some of you, I don't know if it's like a people-pleasing energy or more of like again, what is that expression? Like, I'm hearing keeping up with the Joneses. I don't know why that's coming through. The idea of puffing up, needing to be seen as in a certain light, needing to be seen as trendy or on brand, or I don't know what that has to do with it, but I do kind of get it. I feel like I'm not putting it in the right terminology. But this idea of looks and appearance, and don't let that factor into it. It's not worth it. I promise you it's not worth it. All right. And let's see. So then we have Queen of Pentacles, of course. Great money card. That's showing up in your past, though. Contemplations about money. And possibly new streams of income, or maybe I think a lot of you are going to approach your boss for a raise. Or something to do with what you get from it. Maybe it's like a more vacation time or something of the works. I don't really know what exactly this is, but it's like you're holding a coin and it's okay, but you're like, this could be better. So being unsatisfied with money right now. Some of you are going to pursue something more creative. It could be something where you start like an Etsy, or might do creative writing, but it's something where it could be an additional stream of income. Yeah, for a lot of you, it might involve writing, or let's see, King of Swords. Something involving like groups of people. So you might be like a coach or a leader, or starting some sort of, exercise class or something that gathers groups of people together. Teaching, perhaps, online teaching especially. Anyway, that looks good. I like that very much. But again, you may have to let go of some other obligation or responsibility in your work life to make more room for this other stream of income that frankly feels much more in alignment with your moon sign. I'm going to ask you guys that. Look up where your moon sign is, because that's going to tell you a lot about what this side hustle or this new job opportunity is. I don't know what your moon sign is, right? Unless you're a Capricorn moon and that's why you're watching this. But for a lot of you, the universe is asking you to tap into your moon. And the reason being is your moon sign, though it's the more hidden part of you, the more private side of you, it's really your natural instincts. Like without having to think, when you're home and you're alone, you're doing your moon sign because it's that natural state of comfort, right? And so with that, it's almost like the universe is saying to me, this is something like you're naturally good at. It's like this innate talent you have and you might not even realize it. And I'm not saying you have to, but if you wanted to, there's a way to monetize that. And I think for a lot of you, you're looking for ways to gain more income or a second stream of income. So where's your moon sign? You're going to have to go look it up. Google, what is my moon sign? It'll show you how to do it. Go to astrocharts.com. I like that site a lot. But yeah, read up a little bit about your moon sign. Something about that may open your eyes up to some sort of cool avenue where you can make some money. What else can I tell you? 9 of Cups. Let's ask a little bit more about the 9 of Cups. I'm just intrigued by it. I'm hearing medicine. I don't know if that's literal. Some of you, there could be, you've been dealing with some sort of health issue or issue with your body, and you may finally get a chance to go to the doctor and get some sort of remedy, right? For some of you, there may be some a like holistic method of dealing with some sort of ailment or illness that you have, and it's really working, like it's life-changing. It doesn't have to be, straight up get a prescription from your doctor. For some of you, that might be it. Others of you, it's like there's a more alternative path, alternative healing that really is working out for you. For some of it might be like spiritual, like, having someone do Reiki on you or something like that. Others of you, that idea is more a metaphor of like, it's like good medicine. You know that expression? It's like, it feels good for you. It's good. It makes you feel chipper and perky. And it's just what the doctor ordered. I don't know what that is, but it has something to do with a job or an opportunity. Oh my God, there's so much Virgo energy in your reading. Do you guys know any Virgos? Because they're going to be around you in the month of October. Shining the light on your wish fulfillment. What is your dream ideal scenario? You should journal about it. You should get clear on what that is so that your manifestations can be clearer. Something about candlelight or candle magic. Some of you, it may help to meditate with a candle. I think candle gazing is like a whole form of meditation. I don't know if you guys are into that, but you may as well try it. If you're having trouble bringing your dreams into reality or gaining clarity on what it is you want in your career life, bust out a candle from your closet. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but it has something to do with just being open to sort of the light of the universe and them kind of trying to guide you in a more direction that would be spiritually fulfilling for you. Some of you don't want to move. It's like your job or your relationship may be calling for you to possibly move to the city or vice versa. And you're just like, no, I don't want to. That is not my wish. Let's see. You might need to be flexible. You might need to be more open-minded. That's the message on that. Angels. I'm hearing the word angels. What do your angels want to tell you? That might be someone's name too. Angel, Angela. That may have to do with property or land or real estate. Feeling, I don't know, guided by angels. I don't know what that is. All right. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, you are dead set against moving, or your partner is. That may be coming into it. If you are a owner of a company, it's like joint owned, it's like you and your friend or you and someone else, there seems to be disagreements on where to move locations or move locations or open up a new division or a new branch. There's a lot of debate on land and location and property. The thing is, you will come to an agreement, and like wherever you do end up, you are gonna move or add something additionally to it. But for some of you, it's going to serve you well to do it out of your own home. So if you run an online business, you may end up deciding to. I don't know if this makes sense, but just as an example, like get rid of the small little office that you have where you only have 3 people, and you may decide to completely be remote. that may bring you a lot of happiness and joy. Something about spending more time with your children or your family. Again, online creative businesses seem to be really hot right now. In your reading specifically, I mean, of course they're hot right now in general, but in your reading specifically, teaching online seems to be a big thing for Capricorn right now. And some of you may be paying for lessons to learn something new, some sort of creative skill or hobby, especially music, as a side passion. And for some of you, that might be this like form of healing that ends up being really good for you. What is this Ten of Swords about? The Ten of Swords is like sneaking out. What's that about? Some of you may sell off a really big business, or I'm hearing the words like realty and estate. There may be some sort of really lucrative thing that it's like you're trying to keep it going, but for some reason or another, it's interfering with the life you're trying to build with your family and your partnership, and it's not good for your health as well. You'll know if this is your message or not. For some of you, disregard if this doesn't make sense. But it's almost like you're holding on to, okay, this is important. For a lot of you, it's an inherited business. It's something your grandfather did or your grandmother, and it's been passed down in generations. And it's like, I never wanted this. Like, me and my sibling are now responsible for this monster of a business. Our heart isn't in it. So that could be this too, this idea of like, you know what, like I'm going to let my brother take it over. I'm going to sell my half, or, together we're going to go our separate ways and like cash in on what we can and invest in what it is that I really want to build. For some of you, you're going to purchase a piece of land or property that you've always wanted. So discussion of contracts are going to be in the works in terms of ending something that it seems to be a cash cow. That's the thing. Like, there's a lot of money tied to it, but you're not enjoying it. It feels metaphorically like it's killing you. And for some of you, you quite realize that like it's really bad for your health. I don't know what this is, if it's the environment you're working in or whatever it is. It's just, it's too stressful. It's like high blood pressure and like always on edge, feeling nervous. It's like, I'm just getting the idea of the clients you work with are very irrational or very erratic or very... like it's almost like there's a fear of who's going to come for business because you've had bad experiences with clients in the past. It's like they're too demanding. They're asking too much of you. And it's like, yeah, I don't know what this is, but I think you're right to get out of it if and where you can. So I do see that for Capricorn. All right. Wrapping it up with an oracle card. Interesting read for you, Capricorn. I'm into it. You had some good messages. I want to know who this Virgo is because they're all about you, Capricorn, this month. Might be multiple Virgos too. Let's see, taking risks. I love this deck. It has like just really cool, simple images. All right, let's read from the book. Taking risks. The High Plateau. All right, the sacred landscape wants you to know, when you draw this card, it is time to step beyond your normal everyday life. Take some risks. Face your fears. Do things in a new and even unorthodox way. Listen more to your inner voice than the voices and opinions of others. Rather than running from potential failure, embrace it. History has shown that those willing to face failure will often succeed in massive ways later on. All right, and since I'm doing this in Libra season, we'll do the Rose Oracle. It's just so pretty and girly and feminine. I almost said for Libra, isn't that funny? For Capricorn. The Wasteland. Sustainability, slow down, tend to your garden. The Wasteland. Here we go. All right. This is the most powerful card in the deck. It is a wake-up call for us to stop the destructive behavior that's resulting in us becoming brittle and unable to live in a sustainable way. The sacred feminine is abundant. She knows that the earth can provide for what we need, and she doesn't need to take more than she needs. She tends to the earth around her and within her. She's the keeper of balance and the protector of all living things. The rose has seen civilizations come and go, empires rise and fall. In this card, she's delivering an urgent message to slow down and stop any way of being that is not sustainable, to release anything that's making us brittle, to tend to our garden, our bodies, and the earth around us. For your soul's inquiry, ask, what way of being is no longer sustainable for you? All right, Capricorn, please remember to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, book a personal reading. I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.